All right, guys, we got a wild story here to cover. Everybody's favorite alpha male, Andrew Tate, as it turns out, has recently announced that he wants to get into politics. And out of all the weirdest places, it happens to be the UK. Yes, the country that he apparently spent a lot of time in. He wasn't exactly born there. I think he was actually born in America, but he spent a lot of time in the UK with his brother, and he did have some uh, sexual assault allegations in that country. Turns out he wants to run for prime minister in the UK. But there's only one small problem. You see, Andrew Tate can't seem to spell. You might want to learn how to spell the name of the country you want to run in, right? So it all started with this. Andrew Tate started up this poll a few days ago. He said, ultra serious post. Should I enter politics and run for prime minister of the UK? And then under it, it has an answer. It says, yes, save Britain. Now, if you look closely, you'll notice that Britain is spelled wrong. That is not how you spell Britain. So he spelled Britain wrong. People are already making fun of that. And, you know, you got quite a few posts. It's honestly kind of a joke. He's like making up his own party because the way that UK politics works is you basically have to like be the leader of a party and that party has to win the most votes. So I look at his run for in politics as complete clown world. It would be the equivalent, essentially, of somebody in the United States, you know, somebody famous, let's say Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, starting his own party, calling it the Everybody Party, and he's trying to beat either the Democrat or the Republican Party, who already have a decades-long establishment in the United States, right? Like, those two parties are going to be it. A third party will probably never beat either of those parties for president of the United States. In UK, it's kind of the same way, but I still think it's hilarious. Like, I still think it's a joke. I really think Andrew Tate has kind of entered this troll phase. Some of the mannerisms and actions and behaviors I've been seeing from him lately just makes me think he's just like turned into a complete troll now. Like, it's hard to even really take him seriously, especially with you trying to run to be the prime minister of what was once called Great Britain, and you can't even spell Britain correctly. Like, what the heck? So he's calling his party BRUV, BRUV, and it stands for Britain Restoring Underlying Values. So I guess he's going for the whole conservative thing. Make Britain conservative again. And then after that, he's got all these posts. BRUV, your country needs you. Vote BRUV. He's got more graphics. This graphic is awful. You need to hire whatever. You need to fire whatever graphic designer made this. This is terrible. And then after that, he says far right doesn't scare anybody, blah, blah, blah. Andrew Tate as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. There's been more hate for the British government than this very moment. They allow our children to be R-worded. They allow our pensioners to starve. Okay, I'm not going to read all this crap. Like, this is just such a joke. Like, come on now. Then you got Bricks News reporting it just in. Andrew Tate officially launches the BRUV Party, Britain Restoring Underlying Values, as he pursues plans to become UK Prime Minister. Now, besides the whole thing of this is like 99% a joke, right? Besides that whole thing, what are the chances that Andrew Tate could actually run for prime minister and actually win, right? Like, what are the chances? I mean, for crying out loud, Trump ran the United States in 2016 and nobody expected it. Nobody expected him to become what he became. When he first ran, he was kind of looked at as a joke. He was, you know, this guy who was on Celebrity Apprentice, this billionaire who had made all this money from real estate. A lot of it was he inherited some money from his dad, and then he basically turned like a few $1,000,000 to like $1 billion, blah, blah, blah. But nobody expected a guy with no political background in 2016 to win and become president. Again, when Donald Trump first ran, he was a complete joke. And then he just started saying a lot of controversial things and honestly, a lot of things that many Americans agreed with, and he just blew up. Would I have it for Andrew Tate? I highly doubt it. Let's go ahead and pull up this tweet right here. Says here from this guy over here on Twitter, I like the guy, but there are 5 main reasons why Andrew Tate can't be UK Prime Minister. Then it says, number 1, dual citizenship issues. Divided loyalties with U.S. citizenship raise political and ethical concerns. Lack of political experience. No background in public service or governance. The lack of political experience might make sense. Obviously, you don't need political experience in the United States to win anymore. Those days are gone. However, in the UK, you still do. The UK is, you know, still different than the United States. And things are A little bit more normal there than they are here. You got to actually have political experience to really have a chance in the UK. So the other thing is controversial public image, polarizing views, alienate voters and political allies, electoral challenges, unlikely to win a parliamentary seat or lead a major party, and then public trust deficit, leadership role demands credibility and trust he doesn't command. Let's focus on electoral challenges, where it says he's unlikely to win a seat or lead a major party. So what's interesting about the UK is it's not like the United States. It's not, you run for a certain party, and if that party then, they basically select you to be the nominee. Once you're the nominee, people either vote for the Democratic candidate or the Republican candidate. That's what happens. In the UK, what happens is they hold a general election where they choose members of the parliament to represent their constituencies, and the political party with the majority of seats in the House of Commons typically wins and becomes the prime minister. That's how it works there. So the leader of the party that wins the most seats becomes the prime minister. And what Andrew Tate would need to do is he would have to become the leader of a party in order to have a chance at winning. So again, I really think that this is just like a big fat joke. If I could just be frank here, like, what the heck? In terms of why he's doing this, I have my speculations. I don't know if this is something to help, help with this branding, like make his name bigger, because to me, it feels like he's kind of falling off a little bit. At one point, he was like at the top. The height was like 2021, 2022, I would say. And he was just all over the news, like every day for stuff. His interviews will go mega viral. And again, he still does interviews. He still gets views. Anytime he does an interview, he gets millions of views. He has a very loyal fan base. But I just haven't seen much from him. And typically, when I see people get into politics who have no political background, and they do it in a way that kind of shows they kind of have no chance of winning, it's one or two things. It's either they're trying to get some sort of political position or cabinet position or something, kind of like RFK. RFK kind of did it and succeeded. He first ran as a Democrat, then RFK ran as an independent, and he garnered a lot of attention. And it got to the point where he's like, well, hey, how about I just endorse Trump and I get a cabinet seat? It worked. It really does work. Or there's the other side. Some people do it to just get their name out there. Now, when you go out and you do your speaking engagements, whatever you do, now people say former presidential candidate so-and-so. Like it does have people do it. So, or it could all just be a gigantic troll and a joke. I don't know. I haven't seen any paperwork. I searched online to see it. For those who don't know, when you run for president of the United States, you have to submit paperwork. That's public information. I don't know how the UK works, but I tried to find some paperwork. I didn't see it. So again, I have no idea if this is a joke or if this is the actual truth, but I would suspect this is a gigantic troll, because for crying out loud, let's also not forget, bro's literally on house arrest. Like, I understand that his case seems to be going well. Like, I've heard a little bit about it. Like, apparently certain things got dropped or whatever, and his case seems to be doing okay, and he might actually beat it. That's great. But as of right now, he's still on house arrest. So I'm just not entirely sure how you're going to campaign in the UK while you're living in Romania on house arrest. Like, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but whatever. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video because I just thought that it was hilarious that Andrew Tate wants to get into politics. Everybody's favorite alpha male, as they say, right? But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I just wanted to cover that real quick because that story is just absolutely hilarious. It's kind of similar to the Hawk Tuah girl. The things that these influencers do is crazy. It really is. It's like the world is theirs. Like, once you get a huge following and you become a big influencer, these guys just get to different story arcs. They get to different parts of the storyline where they just start doing stuff. Just start doing anything, So that's the point where I would Andrew Tate. Anyway, that's today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.